Welcome to Rivet and Roll.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Aaron, and this is Chip.
So we're in Minnesota. We drove up about 8 hours from Chicago yesterday, and we're at Temperance River State Park. There are a bunch of parks here on Lake Superior, so we're gonna go chasing some waterfalls.
While we are hunting for waterfalls, we obviously have a new member of the pack. Chip was adopted just this week, and we immediately got in the car and drove up here. So we did have him as a foster for a couple of weeks, so we do have a little bit of familiarity with him, but this whole trip is going to be figuring out what does it mean to go on a trip and have a dog? What does it mean to have a dog in the base camp? What does it mean to hike with the dog? All of those things. And as we speak, he's just making a ruckus back behind the camera. So we're going to keep hiking and share the experience of what this is like for the first time. So this section is called Hidden Falls, which definitely makes sense because there's some angles that you can't see them, but once you do, they're absolutely gorgeous. So after Hidden Falls, we just kept going and made it up to the Upper Falls, and it is a little hidden in and of itself, even though it's not called Hidden Falls. You have to kind of go down this whole little ledge to get there, but it was absolutely beautiful. Now making our way back, and probably gonna go find some coffee and lunch. Got our coffee.
Yeah.
We went fancy. Oh, where are you going?
Oh, sorry, I was gonna give him more water.
We went fancy with the mocha and a latte. And Chip's down here making a mess of his water.
I know. We like to rough it on these trips. I don't know if you've noticed yet. We've come up the road a little bit back down from where we came from towards Duluth, and there's a pretty cool lighthouse. There's a historical site and there's a state park. So we're in the state park side, and we're gonna try to check it out over this viewpoint. Sit. Easy. Chip's gonna go get that freaking chipmunk. No. Walked the path from the overlook to the beach. There's these awesome little islands out here, and we want to walk to the beach a little bit to see if it'll swing out enough to see the lighthouse. It was a quick path, but oh gosh, the closer you get to the water, these mosquitoes are brutal. I just killed one on my neck.
Chip, what'd you do to get carried?
I'm pulling. My hands are hurting. You gotta figure this out.
Chip is definitely still learning to walk. You know, we've only had him kind of for 3 weeks, and he's still learning for sure. We need to get into some obedience classes and things like that, because at the moment he was being so bad, we decided it would be better if I hike back up to the car, drive down and get them. So that's what I'm doing. Hi, Chip. You didn't get to hike back with me.
Ooh.
How was it just waiting with him?
It was okay. A dog walked by and we had to do quiet, but... Come on, Chippy. Come here. Ugh.
We're learning. We're figuring it out, but it's a lot.
He hiked a lot today. He just ate, took some naps. Been on a roller coaster these last couple of weeks.
Good morning. We probably left you a little abruptly yesterday. I feel like we have been still figuring out what it means to travel with a dog. Chip!
Say hi. I don't know if you can see
Oh,
it.
a little bit of a stretch. So we're now at Gooseberry State Park, which is about a 30-40 minute drive from where we are camping. And we're gonna do some hikes here again, waterfalls, all sorts of beautiful nature, and just see how this guy does. So we're right in here. We got lower, middle, and upper. So we might, that'll be the easy one. But you can also go up to Fifth Falls Trail to this waterfall. That says it's about an hour, or I mean 2 hours. Something like that. 1 hour, 2 miles.
All right, let's see how he does.
Chip, it's gonna be up to you.
Chip, no pulling.
No pulling. We're gonna start with the lower and middle falls, and then head up to the upper falls, and maybe Fifth Falls, if somebody can get his act together. Going under that bridge, we're now making it up to Upper Falls. I'm gonna do about a half-mile loop around it to head back to the car. Pretty much everywhere we go, we find some sort of statue, monument, plaque, whatever it is, to the Civil Conservation Corps, and we found it here. Someone's getting carried because he's getting a little tired.
Taking all the dew from the grass and then trying to lay in it, but he doesn't love being carried either. Okay.
Well, we just got back from Gooseberry Falls, and now I'm going to make us coffee. It is lunchtime, but I'm going to make us coffee and some sandwiches, and we're hopefully going to beat out a storm and go enjoy that lunch at the beach. Well, we'll see if we get rained on while we're trying to eat. The storm was rolling in fast, so we decided just to bail. We're eating lunch inside. Probably gonna wait out a little bit of rain. Well, I took a nap, and now we're going on another little afternoon adventure. I was just too tired, getting too grouchy.
Okay.
I needed a little bit of a nap. So that's what I did. So what are we gonna do now?
So I've seen these like peaks up here, and then there's little trails by them. So I think we can figure that out, but I'm not quite sure how to drive there.
It's a little hard to see in the video, but that is pretty rocky and divotty, and probably a little bit more than I want to do. So we're gonna try a different route and see if we can't make this work, but not this way. Well, we made it to a trailhead. There she goes. She said this was gonna be like a quick little thing. This is a 3-mile hike, which we are not up to at the moment.
Britton Peak is 0.3 miles.
0.3 miles.
Yeah.
All right, apparently we're going 0.3 miles. Let's go. It's absolutely worth the 0.3 miles. Very steep, lots of stairs, but definitely worth the view. We ended up on another dirt path back in the National Forest. This is deep down a National Forest road. We just pulled off to the side of the river, or side of the road for the river. And just up the way is White Pine Lake, which is absolutely beautiful. And some rain just came through a couple minutes ago, and it just cooled everything off.
It's like in the middle of nowhere. There's nobody here. This is amazing. Chip, you're really trying to see out that window, huh?
So we drove back and we are at the campsite, campground at least, and there are a couple of different picnic and fire pit areas down by the water. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a campfire, have dinner here, let Chip just have a blast out here, and wrap up our evening. Good morning. We have made our way up to the last state park that we're going to visit on this trip. It is, I believe, pronounced Tettegouche State Park. The High Falls Trail is closed, which would have been cool to go on, but there's a couple of others that are still open that we're going to explore this morning. We'll see how Chip does, because he's already been a puller.
Calm, calm, calm. Good boy.
Just an absolutely incredible view of Lake Superior, which Amanda looked up yesterday is the largest freshwater lake in the world, and it gets down to 1,300 feet deep at some point. I guess the average is more like 400, but still 1,300 feet. That's massive. I'm not sure if the other trail is going to be more popular. There were other cars in the parking lot, but we currently have this place to ourselves, and it's pretty serene. We are making our way up to Cascade Falls, which you can kind of see back behind me, just starting, but we have a little bit more to go. We just spent a little bit of time by ourselves, nice and peaceful, and now we are going to start heading back if Chip figures it out. One thing we didn't mention about this campsite is that we are boondocking, so we are definitely paying attention to water usage. We are using showers here on the campground, so not showering in the campsite in the Airstream, and we are just hoping for good sunlight to give us some energy, some power, and so far so good. We have had it cut it close a little bit at like 12.3 on the battery scale. If you don't know what that means, go ahead and watch this video up here on just our full boondocking, what it means, and how to manage your power in a base camp. But yeah, we're making it so far.
You're giving me credit for cooking? Look at me go.
The one meal.
Look at me go. Excuse me. I ordered this from HelloFresh, not a sponsor, but if you would like to be, let us know. I'm actually really liking it. But yes, veggie stuffed pitas. I got pita, some like sour cream dill, lemon sauce, tomatoes, dill, olive oil, cucumber, and then some hummus and hot sauce and feta. It seems to be delicious.
Chip, what did you have? Did you have brown pebbles?
Yep. Chip, are you getting love? Chip!
Ridiculous. He parkoured off my chest to get up here too.
Who, me? No, not me, he says.
Yeah, you. Yeah, you. So after enjoying Amanda's amazing lunch, we're doing our last hike of the trip. We are headed home tomorrow. We're gonna go try and see High Falls. We're going the back way though. Right or left? We're already lost. Hi, Froggy. How are you doing? Are you overstimulated?
Yeah, let's go in the water.
You're not allowed in the water, buddy. Not yet.
No, this was an awesome hike. I did not expect like a swimming hole basically. And there are multiple ways to get here, and then when you can get here, I just feel like you can relax. So a couple of these places were really good to like pack a lunch. Yeah, and it feels like the bugs aren't horrible right here. Just gorgeous here, and like we said before, like state parks. I'm telling you, more and more. I love them.
Hike back is a little hot, but we have a little less than a half mile to go. We should be back to the car. Although a stranger in this content, I'm always in room for you. So we're headed back to camp, but we've decided to go the long way around. And again, doing some back roads similar to what we did yesterday. Some dirt roads and state park, national forest, all sorts of things. Well, Chip's checking it out, enjoying his little perch up here. Although it hurts me to be with you, I'm always in bloom for This one's 4 Mile Lake. This is the one I picked on the map as the destination. I knew nothing about it, but it's absolutely beautiful. We just finished our first trip with Chip. We wanted to talk a little bit about what that experience was like, a little bit of the adoption story, how he came into our little pack here. So over the last few years, we've fostered a couple of different dogs, and this started off that way. Chip came to us from a local shelter in Chicago as a foster. He had a little bit of a respiratory issue, so they didn't want him in the shelter. So we had him for about 2 weeks, and then he had to go back, get checked out. He also had to get neutered. And then he was up for adoption, and we decided to go for it.
We had to drive him a couple times in the car to and from the shelter, and we showed him Carmen in the driveway, and none of that made him nervous or scared. So that was a good sign to us that this dog could potentially go on long road trips and be a good companion for that.
We also, as you all know, we are limited on our payload capacity here in the RAV4, so we needed a smaller dog that wasn't going to push us over those limits. So Chip being 25 pounds?
It's like 22 pounds.
22 pounds, that was going to be great. So obviously having a dog on a trip with a travel trailer in state parks, in nature, comes with some other additional things. On a longer road trip like this, that meant some more bathroom breaks. So really anytime that we would get gas, we just had to take him out and make sure he had the opportunity to go to the bathroom just like we did.
So several months ago we booked this campsite, so it just so happened to align with the timelines, and we looked at it and they were dog friendly, so all of those parks allowed dogs as long as they were on leashes. So that worked out, but yeah, we had to work out the setup of the Airstream because we haven't really established too many routines at home with Chip. And one of the things that we noticed is that sometimes he needs the crate to calm down and to sleep. Otherwise, he just feels like he has too many options, he's roaming around. And so we really wanted to bring the crate, and having that in the base camp was a little bit tight because it's taller than the actual bed, so it can't like tuck underneath. Say hi, Chip. As Aaron cooks. We made it work, it was fine, and actually the last night he was able to sleep in the bed.
Yeah, finally. So we did have to move that around, kind of break it down, set it up almost daily.
Put it on top of the bed.
We put, up on top of the bed once we had the bed and mattresses stacked. We also try to use it as a table at one point, so that takes a little bit of work and adjustment as we're going, but I'm sure we'll figure that out as well. And then when it came to the hikes, we had to kind of veer towards the shorter ones. That just meant that we could pace it out a little bit, and if he was still good to go, we could go on another hike kind of later in the day, but we didn't want to overdo it with him and kind of figure out where he was at with things just because he's so new to us. And also on those hikes, lots of water breaks, again, to make sure that he was good to go. Also, pack it out. Pick up after your pets. We did that. That meant bringing bags and carrying that with us until we got back to either a visitor center or somewhere we could dispose of it appropriately. So overall, it went well. Even better than expected, I think. We had a few concerns about his energy level and just how spastic he had been at the house a little bit, but I don't know if you can see him back there. He is passed out at the moment. So in the car, he just zonks. And then, like Amanda was saying, if you put him in the crate, he also pretty much goes straight to sleep. So I found a couple of solutions there just to keep him calm and a little bit more focused when we did go out and we were hiking and we were walking around. He had the energy to do so.
And it was a little bit longer of a trip. Sometimes some of these weekend trips we've been doing 3 days, maybe max 4 days, but this was a 5-day trip. So we had 3 full days there, and then we had basically 2 full days of driving. So the fact that he kind of hung out was really, really impressive.
So obviously that will be a consideration for us moving forward as we plan future trips and thinking about our destinations. He won't come on every single trip. There will be times where we have to find him some extra care around home, and then we can go on a trip that maybe isn't as dog friendly, but he's going to be part of the pack and going to be in a lot more videos. So if you have any questions for us as we figure this out about how to travel in an RV with the dog, let us know down in the comments. If you have any tips, let us know down in the comments. We appreciate all of it.
So that's going to be it for Minnesota. Time to put the sticker on. It's a pretty cool purple. Alright, perfect fit. So be sure to subscribe to find out where in the world Carmel goes next.